And as far as the suicidal statements that you were aware of from the prior reports, did you go through that with her about whether she presented to you with suicidal ideation?
Can you ask me that again?
Sure. Did you talk to her about her thoughts of suicide?
Yes.
And did you talk to her about whether she had any specific plan?
Yes.
Did she have any plan?
No.
Had she reported that she had ever had a plan for suicide?
No.
And did she tell you there were reasons why she thought she wouldn't commit suicide?
Yes.
And what were those reasons?
Her children and her family, her mother.
So after this face-to-face interaction with her and kind of going through her history and having reviewed what you had, the information you had about her, what did you develop as a plan for her while she was at McLean?
I continued with the plan to taper her off Seroquel and to monitor whether her symptoms improved, but also to see if she could sleep while she was off of Seroquel. And to really observe symptoms and mood.
During this first interaction with her, was there any conversation about how long she would stay or what her plan might be after she left McLean?
When we met the first time, Lindsay said that she had her daughter's birthday coming up on the weekend, and that it had been planned months ahead of that date, and she was hoping that she could be there that weekend so she could be with the kids and family who was going to come for the birthday party.
Now, the concept of kind of tapering her off the Seroquel and monitoring her symptoms, did that seem like a realistic goal to you?
Yes.
And now, after having spoken to her and developing this plan, were you also cognizant or thinking about the potential for a bipolar disorder diagnosis? And so how did that affect how you approached this plan to taper?
Again, we were observing for any symptoms that would indicate that she might have bipolar disorder.
And where she had reported that she had issues with sleep, was that also something of concern to you if there was the potential for a bipolar disorder?
Yes.
And reduction of medication, what was the concern for the sleep?
I think people's mental health is negatively affected if they cannot sleep, whether it's bipolar disorder or depression, and so sleep is important.
Okay, and so a person that you might be considering for a bipolar diagnosis would lack of sleep make you watch for symptoms of hypomania?
Yes, sleep deprivation can lead to a bipolar episode, a hypomanic manic episode.
So you wanted to monitor her patterns and her sleep and her mood to see if there was any evidence of that, correct?
Yes.
In this first interaction where you identified a plan, did you also make a suggestion about a particular medication that she might consider after the Seroquel had been discontinued?
Yes.
What was the alternative medication, if you will?
It was Cymbalta, which is an antidepressant.
And was that something that you intended to prescribe for her while she was there, or was it something that you suggested that she could consider as an outpatient?
It was just a consideration. It would depend on how she was doing after she was off of the Seroquel.
Okay. Now, what about the Valium? Was there a plan to address tapering or weaning her off Valium or an alternative to Valium?
Yes, I switched her from Valium to Ativan
Okay.
because it has a shorter half-life. And, in my experience, it manages anxiety well.
And were you aware that she had taken Ativan before?
Yes.
And did she report any concerns about Ativan or benzodiazepines in general?
Yes.
And what was the concern she reported to you?
She stated that her husband had concerns about her being on a benzodiazepine.
During this interaction with her on the January 3rd, did you observe any signs of psychosis?
No.
And in the notes and the interactions with the providers prior to your meeting between January 1st and January 3rd, did anyone ever note any symptoms or concerns for psychosis?
No.
And you're aware that Ms. Clancy was also still in that, what was considered the postpartum period, right? She had had a child in May of 2022?
That's a tricky question to answer because different organizations or agencies assign postpartum a different length of time.
Okay, and so in your training experience and your experience as a person who diagnoses,
Yes.
did you consider postpartum as part of what you had to figure out here with this patient? Or was it
Yes.
really not a consideration?
It was.
Okay, and why was it for you?
I mean, she had a child, and the risk of postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis is a serious consideration.
Okay. Now, after this first meeting with Ms. Clancy on the 3rd, were you able to give her, in your own opinion, a diagnosis?
Yes.
And what was that?
You said after the 3rd?
Right.
Okay. So that would mean one meeting.
Yes.
I gave her a diagnosis of insomnia with a mental health condition because one day of observation wasn't sufficient for me to figure out if she truly, to give a solid diagnosis because it sticks with the patient.
Right. Fair to say you just didn't have enough information at that point.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So again, you saw her on January 3rd, and that was approximately 9:15 a.m., right?
If that's what it says. Yeah.
Well, if at the top of your inpatient progress note on page 61 of the exhibit, if I say the data service reads 1/3/23 at 9:15, would that be where you would note the time you were scheduled to speak with the patient?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that on that same day, on January 3rd, that in addition to meeting with you, that she met with a social worker at 10:07 a.m., right?
Yes. The social worker and I would have met with her together.
Okay, but then the social worker would have their own note if there was any interaction that they were noting, and also a nurse as well.
Yes.
Right? And that on the 3rd, that Ms. Clancy participated in a group at 12:02 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And engaged with a mental health worker at 12:22 p.m., right?
I do know that she engaged with the mental health worker. The times are not something I recall.
If I indicate that the records show she did another group at 2:36 p.m., would that sound right?
Yes.
That she then declined a group at 3:50 p.m.
Yes.
And then saw another mental health worker in the evening before presumably she went to bed 8:52 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see her on January 4th?
Yes.
And so again, is this the same protocol? You meet, you talk, you discuss. did you talk to her about how the previous night's sleep went?
Yes.
And how was that night's sleep?
She reported sleeping well.
Well?
I don't remember the exact words, but she said she slept. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember having a conversation with her again on that day, January 4th, about going home?
Yes.
And what did she say about that?
Originally, I think we were thinking, we had talked about discharge on Friday, and she stated that she was anxious being in the hospital and that she wanted to be discharged so she could be home with her family and her children.
And so did she ask to leave earlier than Friday?
Yes.
And when she asked to leave earlier than Friday, what was your response to that?
Whenever I said she could leave provided she had psychiatric follow-up the next day.
And why did you do that?
I wanted to ensure that if she wasn't able to sleep that night after discharge, that she could speak with somebody about it so that they could come up with a plan to ensure she could sleep and to monitor how she was doing off the medication.
And was there a kind of a secondary reason that you had asked that she make sure she make an appointment before discharge?
Yes, it was also to assess whether she could think clearly and follow directions and get it together. We asked her to set up the appointment herself, and she was able to do that. She responded within an hour. She told the social worker that she had gotten an appointment, and the social worker had asked her for a fax number so that we could we could send the discharge summary, and she provided the fax number as well.
Okay. And now on this day that you had met her on January 4th, she reported that she slept well. Do you recall what dose of Seroquel she was down to at that point? Had she reached 0?
On which day?
On the 4th, when you saw her.
I'd have to walk myself through this. So I know she was on 75 milligrams the night of the 1st, 75 milligrams the night of the 2nd. On the night of the 3rd, we decreased it to 50 milligrams. On the night of the 4th, she would have been on 25 milligrams.
Okay. And fair to say that on the 4th, your plan was to continue to taper her so that she would be at 0 for Seroquel, take no Seroquel on Thursday night, right?
Correct.
And that she would be restarted on Ativan, and that she'd have the trazodone available if she needed it.
She was already on Ativan during her admission and was taking it at night. She also had trazodone, which is a sleep medication. It has sedating properties, so it can be used for sleep. So yes, she had the option to take that as well.